I hope you have all had a lovely week. You are joining me today in my greenhouse. I thought we'd do something a little bit different for the video intro and just kind of chatting and sharing some updates with you. So firstly, just to give some context to the space, we're in my greenhouse right now. My greenhouse is small but mighty. The greenhouse is glass, and then I did get brick laid for the foundation. And then as you can see, I have a decently sizable console table in here that kind of serves as a station for all my pots and some of my plants that come in here. I have a rosemary topiary. I love topiaries. I have a myrtle inside. I actually had the topiary inside for quite a while, but she wasn't doing very well, hence I just touched a spider web, fun times. Unfortunately, I'm kind of embarrassed to say that this isn't the first rosemary topiary that's done badly. So if you guys have any tips, I'm definitely interested in hearing them. I would love to revitalize her and bring her back to life, if that's at all possible. I also have a strawberry that I transitioned from outside on my deck into the greenhouse because squirrels or too many other types of animals were actually going after them and swiping them up before I could eat them. So I transitioned her into the greenhouse. As you can see, she's doing quite well. She has 2 strawberries right now. This one's almost ready to pick. In fact, I think I could technically pick her now, but there's several more flowers and hopefully some more berries coming soon. And then I also have a peppermint plant that, until I realized how invasive the mint species is, I had in my garden beds and decided that I had to pull it up so that it didn't take over. So now it's confined to a pot. And then as you can see over at the far end, I have a small tomato plant. Well, the pot's pretty small relative to the vine, but it's a cherry tomato variety that I picked up from a local farm around here at the farmer's market. And it's been producing pretty well. I've been consistently getting cherry tomatoes out of it with not a lot of work. So I would call that a win. It's got 2 right now that are ripening and pretty much almost ready to be eaten. And then along the bottom, I also have a lot of antiques that I've picked up from various places. So I have some French antique terracotta pots that I really love that I got on Etsy. And then I also have quite a few seabird and rice pots and some Campo de Fiore as well. I have 2 big mint pots as well. They're taking over, they're going wild, so it's probably time that I harvest them and figure out what to do with all that mint. So one of the things that I really wanted to sit down and film, or I guess stand up and film, is a chat about books. So I'm a sucker for really pretty picture books, specifically anything related to gardening or lifestyle, food, cooking, baking, all that type of stuff. I wanted to talk about a collection of books that I have here that I really love. I'm kind of a pretty book hoarder. I have a lot of them throughout the house, but these are some of the highlights that I wanted to discuss today and just kind of share my joy with you. This is a book called Patina Living. I became familiar with the Patina Living farm, I think through Instagram or YouTube. I came across their Instagram page, I believe, and just fell in love with the aesthetic of everything they did, and I came across this book. I believe that this couple designed this farm completely themselves, and it was out in Ojai, California. I don't think they currently live there anymore. I do think they moved elsewhere. I'm not sure who owns this property anymore, but this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous book that I highly recommend if you're like me and you're really into aesthetics and you want some inspiration. It's very luxurious, so not really achievable on my level of property necessarily, but definitely will be taking concepts from this book and inspiration. And something I really love about this book too is it has a lot of cute animal photos, and I really love sheep and ducks. If you're really into the luxury farmhouse vibe, I think you're really gonna like this. The next book I want to talk about, I think I found this on Amazon. When I kind of book stock and look at all these beautiful books and build wish lists on Amazon, Amazon's algorithm puts together other books that it thinks I'm gonna like, and it got me with this one. So this is by Courtney Allison, and it is the French Country Cottage Inspired Gatherings. And this is just another one of my dream aesthetic books that is just gorgeous. So I would categorize this book as an aspirational lifestyle book, similar to the Patina Living Farm book I just showed you. There's a lot of just gorgeous photos in here for inspo. I think if you're really big into entertaining, or maybe not, I'm not specifically a person who has a lot of people over my house frequently, but all right, this next one I want to share with you is definitely a favorite. So Sarah Raven, I became acquainted with through podcasts. She hosts is it on a weekly basis podcast called Grow, Cook, Eat, Arrange. She's a wealth of knowledge, and so are the guests that she brings on her podcast. And she also has a well-known business. One of the things she sells is gorgeous dahlias, and she is based out of England, so I wish I could buy them, but unfortunately they don't ship to the US. She has several of these guides, and this one is A Year in the Edible Garden. I believe she also has A Year of Flowers, which I do have but haven't read yet. Gardening in Pots, a whole bunch of beautiful, beautiful books that are very informative and just stunning to look through. This book specifically says it's a month-by-month guide to growing and harvesting vegetable, herbs, and edible flowers. And then lastly, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to this Victoria Classics magazine. So I don't subscribe to them, but I do pick up copies pretty regularly from the Barnes & Noble around here. I am still a magazine lover. I will always love to have tactile, physical books or magazines. Digital is great, but there's something special about having a hard copy and being able to cut it up, collage it, or whatever. I think I got this a little earlier maybe than intended, because this is their fall issue for this year, and I got it a couple weeks back. So either they're just really putting it out early, or I got it early, but it is just a gorgeous, almost vintagey vibe garden lifestyle. There's a lot of recipes in here that I love. Some of the fall recipes they have in here are just really gorgeous, and I can't wait to try them. They've got apple dumplings and orange cardamom cinnamon rolls. So those are some of the gorgeous inspirational books that I've really been loving, and I've been loving exploring all the recipes featured in them as well. So if you really like the wholesome gardening and floral arranging and baking and all of that, I think these are going to be right up your alley like they are for me.